It's over for Bayern Munich. It's over for Atletico de Madrid. Final score at the Allianz Arena: Bayern Munich 1, Paris Saint-Germain 1. Aggregate score: Paris Saint-Germain 6, Bayern Munich 5. And over to the Emirates. Final score at the Emirates: Arsenal 1, Atletico de Madrid 0. Aggregate score: Arsenal 2, Atletico de Madrid 1. So our finalists for our 2026 Champions League campaign that will be played at Budapest on the 30th of May, precisely 8 p.m. We are going to see Arsenal logging heads with Paris Saint-Germain. Let's dive into our post-match analysis. We'll start with the Bayern Munich versus Paris Saint-Germain match. In my pre-match analysis, I mentioned and I said that whosoever will qualify against this match will be the person that will make less mistakes, will be the person that is going to take less risk, and will be the person that is going to be careful with every detail. And actually, that was what happened. Okay, now looking at the match, I remember I also mentioned the fact that Luis Enrique made an interview where he said they are going to go all out for attack. Okay, they are not going to defend, they are not going to attack. And I mentioned the fact that that is pure politics, because that statement was just to get into the heads of Bayern's coach and players and destabilize them. I mentioned the fact that Luis Enrique is a very intelligent coach. If there is one thing that was bugging Paris Saint-Germain, that I had an intuition that Paris Saint-Germain was going to go through, it was for the fact that Luis Enrique is a very, very intelligent coach. Hence, I don't see him making the same mistake he made during the first leg to go all out, open up spaces, open up his back and allow Bayern to pierce in passes, players running left and right. I don't see that happening. And exactly that was what actually happened today. We saw a match where Luis Enrique and Paris Saint-Germain team showed tactical brilliance and tactical intelligence, discipline and commitment. We saw a team where Paris Saint-Germain attacked in block and defended in block. Every player did everything. Nobody was a defender, nobody was an attacker, nobody was a midfielder. I think the only specified position there was the goalkeeper. Dembele was seen defending. Dembele was seen in the 18-meter box defending so hard. Lewis-Skelly was seen defending. The midfielders were seen defending. And Paris Saint-Germain's plan was very, very simple. When we are defending, we close down our spaces. We make sure that Bayern Munich don't have spaces to penetrate. They don't have opportunities for their players to penetrate and cause harm upon us. And whenever we get the ball, Vitinha, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz are going to help carry the ball in front. And whenever we get the ball and pass it in front, we have 3 guys in front that are ready to cause trouble. Ousmane Dembele, Lewis-Skelly and Desiree Doué, those 3 guys can cause any problem when it comes to transition, and that was what happened. That was how they got their first goal. And please, let's talk about Dembele's call for that goal. Dembele was running, Lewis-Skelly was running. Dembele, they were seeing themselves, and now when Dembele ran into the 18-meter box, we noticed the fact that he drew back and allowed the Bayern defenders to run, and then now Lewis-Skelly gave him the pass and he scored. That was pure masterclass. Those are things that have been worked on during the training sessions. That was so excellent. And when I saw that goal, I said this match is going to end like this, because at this point in time, Paris Saint-Germain are 2 goals up. Hence, they don't have any reason to open up spaces and play carelessly again and give Bayern opportunities to penetrate them and maybe equalize or even cause harm to them. So they closed down their spaces. They were very solid, compact. They helped themselves. I noticed the efforts made by Warren Zaïre on the right back position, even though it was not easy for him, but he tried. And in my pre-match analysis, I remember I placed him there as the player that was going to start at the right back position since Hakimi was injured, and actually he started. In fact, my lineup came out 100%. please learn to watch my pre-match analysis, okay, and also learn to also tell me what you think. Maybe you can also give me your own lineup too. It's also going to help, maybe help us communicate actually. So it was an excellent gameplay. A defense line, Paris Saint-Germain were excellent. Pacho, Marquinhos, excellent. Right back Warren Zaïre, he tried. There was one time where Luis Enrique noticed that Zaïre was being disturbed a bit at the right back position. Luis Diaz was dealing with him. Enrique decided to play in a 3-5-2 position, or in a 3-4-3 position, which is he pushed Zaïre to play in the midfield position and played with 3 defenders. That was very, very excellent, because when he played in that midfield position, since it is the part of the field that he understands more, okay, he played very, very well. Midfield, Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, excellent. I saw when Fabian Ruiz was coming down to help Nuno Mendes when he was against Michael Olise. That was very, very excellent. Attack line, they did what they had to do, even though they had some chances that they missed, but it is what it is. It is actually what it is. The match went the way I was expecting it to go. Kompany still has some things to learn, especially in big matches, and he still has maybe there's some stuff to arrange, especially when it comes to their defense line. Lewis-Skelly was just slicing through Bayern's defense mercilessly. Anyhow, I really felt bad, because Upamecano is a very good defender, but it's a very good defender when he has to play out from the back. But when it comes to defending, I don't know whether it was against Lewis-Skelly that he is this week, but I didn't see the hyper Upamecano that people used to hype and say it's an excellent defender. And I'm really sorry, I'm really skeptical, because if this is the Upamecano that is going to play for the French national team at the World Cup, wow, hopefully Saliba plays well with him. If not, it's not going to be easy around there. So that was nice. Bayern did what they had to do, but it wasn't enough. The 2 goalkeepers, so Savonov made some good saves, very excellent save. Neuer too made some very good saves, to keep both sides afloat. I think personally my man of the match should be Savonov. You give me your own man of the match. My man of the match should be Savonov, because he made some very good saves to keep Paris Saint-Germain up. Paris Saint-Germain should have considered 1 or 2 goals from Bayern de Munich. So actually, Paris Saint-Germain are qualified for the finals. Bayern de Munich are eliminated. Now we go on to the other semi-final match that saw Arsenal locking horns with Atletico de Madrid. Now it was very obvious. I expected this to happen at the Emirates. I knew Arsenal were going to qualify, but I never knew that. I was thinking of a match that Arsenal were going to go. They were going to maybe take it to 120 minutes. Now, what did we notice from the Arsenal Atletico de Madrid match? We noticed a match, or a team that understand what we call defensive discipline. Arsenal to me is, if not the best, okay, but one of the best teams defensively as it stands now in Europe. Arsenal's defensive block is very, very solid, and that's why I always say, even though Paris Saint-Germain plays good football, whether it's since it's Paris now we know, whether it's PSG now we know, but I'm still very, very scared and skeptical. I'm not sure. I don't think Paris Saint-Germain will have an easy run against Arsenal. And personally, I'm backing Arsenal for the final. Anyway, we'll see into that when we'll do our pre-match analysis for the final. Now, what did we notice? Arteta boys were very, very good. Okay, defensively they were organized. They made sure that Julian Alvarez, Antoine Griezmann, this other guy, Ademola Lookman, and Giuliano Simeone didn't have anything to hold on to in that match. Okay, the midfield, the defensive line, excellent. Saliba, Gabriel, what a defender. What if Arsenal didn't concede a goal or 2 against Atletico de Madrid? Gabriel played a very important role. And at one point in time, I used to ask myself, between Gabriel and Saliba, who is a better defender? Because there are some things that I see Gabriel doing, man. I really, really feel like, wow, what a defender. He made some two crucial saves against Atletico de Madrid. Those two kind of saves that could easily cause could cause Arsenal to concede a goal. You know, two good saves, and actually Arsenal did not concede any goal. The right back position, Ben White was helped. He was helped a lot by Saka, but it was also the advice from the coach. Left back position, they play with Calafiori, one of the best players in that Arsenal squad, if not of injuries. Midfield position, that was where Mikel Arteta made us understand that he has grown. He has understood some one or two, and is ready to make changes when changes are necessary. Bringing in Lewis-Skelly to play in that number 6 position alongside Declan Rice was a masterclass. Okay, he's just doing what he saw his master Pep Guardiola doing with Nico O'Reilly, bringing a left back to play at the midfield and performing very well. Lewis-Skelly played against Newcastle, against Fulham over the weekend, and he played very well. And I think that was a test to see how far he can cope, and actually he coped very, very well. We've been complaining about SupremeBarça for a long time now for his inconsistency and his inability to guide that midfield position, that number 6 position, hence making Declan Rice to play more than he's supposed to do. Declan Rice is supposed to be the box to box, while SupremeBarça plays as the holding midfielder that absorbs the pressure, stops opponents pressing, takes the ball out from the back and gives it in front. But he was not doing that, and at least not enough. So Lewis-Skelly stepped in and did that perfectly. I loved this game. I loved the risk, and I loved that he stood up to the task, even though SupremeBarça came on the pitch later during the match. Declan Rice, man of the match, deserved. He was everywhere. He ran the whole match. Some people were saying that why is Declan Rice man of the match? Because I don't know whether you guys saw Declan Rice and the efforts that he played. He was running everywhere yesterday. He played very well. I loved his football. I loved his effort, his work rate. I pray and I wish that he rests very, very well against the final, because we need this work rate during the finals. Eberiche Eze, nice. Now attack line Gyökeres, he did what he had to do, but we need more from him as a number 9. That's the point with him this season. Since he came to Arsenal, he's been very, very inconsistent. He scored 2 goals today. Next match he's going to be mid. Trossard is exactly what I predicted for my lineup, that Trossard was going to start for his work rate. Arteta loves players that are disciplined and can give excellent work rate. Trossard played, and he was even that provoked the goal because he had to shoot. The goalkeeper pushed before the star boy Bukayo Saka scored. We are going to end with him. Bukayo Saka, excellent game. His first half performance was what permitted Arsenal to actually qualify, because he was everywhere. He was doing what we expected him to do, or we expect him to do. Because since he came back from injury, he's been a little bit mid. He's been a little bit below level, but he did what he had to do, and he was there at the right time, the right position to square in that ball after Oblak pushed it out from a Trossard shot. So we know our finalist, Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain. Arteta will be playing his first Champions League final. That's very excellent. Arsenal will be playing their first Champions League final since 2006 or so. That's way too long. While Paris Saint-Germain, on the other hand, are going to be playing their second consecutive final. Is Paris Saint-Germain going to take his second consecutive Champions League, or is Arsenal going to take back their first ever Champions League trophy? We're going to get an answer to that question 30th of May, Budapest, 8 p.m. You tell me in the comment section, who are you going to be backing, Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain? We come to the end of our video, guys. Do well to subscribe, comment, like, tell me what you think in the comment section below. Okay, it helps the channel to grow. See you in another video. Peace.